Hello, hello, welcome to your reading today. So everybody, we're going to do a reading for next month. So whatever month you're watching this, if you're at the start of the month, you can take it for that month. If you're near the end of the month you're in, you can take it to the following month. If you're watching this as it releases, this is coming up to May, and we're still in April, or I'm still in April anyway. So whenever this comes out, you'll see this is for the following month. Okay, and first of all, as always, we're going to pick 3 piles. You can see this as like predictions, or you can see this as some kind of like support, right? If it comes through with something that is like, I don't know if I want to experience that, or go through that, or look at that, you can always direct it and change it. You're the creator in this sense. Predictions are just that, predictions. They don't always mean that this will be exactly what happens, right? If you do a test with something and it's like 95% this will happen, 5% this happens, sometimes that 5% happens. We might talk to this area where it's likely, but then you might be like, I don't know, I might like that 5%. I'm going to start steering my compass into that direction. So take this as support, something to help you with, to steer you towards a goal or steer you away from something that you don't really feel like interacting with. Okay, so that's my little spiel. Let's have a look at which cards have been picked. Okay, so if you pick pile number 1, you have Goddess Gaia and Ocean Jasper, Goodwill. Okay, and let me just show you the card. Go. That's what the card looks like. If you're picking pile number 2, you have Angel Isda with Carnelian and the word nourishment. All right, this one has a goddess number 888. This one is angel number 444. That's what your card looks like. And for pile 3, you have the Archangel Metatron and the Clear Quartz with power. Again, angel number 444. Okay, so take a look at these 3 piles. See which one really calls to you, you're drawn to. What I'll do is I'll leave timestamps down below. You can jump straight to your video. Otherwise, let's see which one is calling to you today and you can go straight to your video. Hello, hello. Welcome to your reading pile number 1. So this is your reading for, you can see this if you're watching this as it comes through or pops up in your feed and it's early, then this is for May. However, if you're watching this in the future, this is for the current month you've just started or the month that's coming up. Take whatever resonates, because then you can start directing your compass. I keep saying directing your compass. I don't know what that's about, but I guess it is. Excuse me. Pointing your compass in the direction that feels correct to you, right? If the reading comes through with things that are like, is this right for now? Is it not? Then start to shift towards goals that you feel connected to. This may be the energy as well. I feel like this is going to be the energy of the month. Why not tap into that energy instead of opposing it? Try to find a good balance for you. But this is really to empower you. Every reading that I do is about empowering you to make the right choices for you and not sitting there laissez-faire, just waiting for something to pop up, right? That's not what these readings are about. But anywho, you have chosen the Goddess Gaia and Ocean Jasper. Gaia is the earth, so the goddess of earth, sometimes seen as an angel, sometimes seen as just the entire planet itself. In our 3D reality, that's exactly what I feel like we see is the planet. We see the oceans, the earth, the mantle, the crust, everything going down into the center of the earth. So this whole, and probably like it feels like the atmosphere, right? Everything contained within the creatures, the plants, all that. This is about goodwill. So when I was almost starting to read this when I picked the card. The first part I was like, nope, put it down. We're not in the reading yet. But straight away, it was making me feel, especially with goodwill, it makes me it was reminding me, I guess. It was putting out the energy of, it's probably the better way of putting it, uh, gratitude and giving and receiving, your relationship with giving and receiving. Whether you're a big giver or a big receiver, right? It's not about judgment, it's trying to just understand what's happening in your surroundings and how is this helping you and how is it minimizing you, right? Are you not looking after yourself? Are you not letting yourself grow because someone else can just do it for you, right? So that's nice, but it's also kind of stunting, growth stunting. So you want to just have a look at that. Where are you doing that? Where is it not feel balanced fully? So let's have a look. Your cards today for your month ahead. I'm going to take a couple from this one. I'll grab that at the end. Feels like it's going to be a really good month for getting things done. Can I squeeze? I probably can't, but I feel like I may. We'll see if we can grab more cards. But at the moment, I feel like these are going to be the cards, which will be enough, right? Okay, so let's take a look at your month ahead. You've got Ascension, Ascended Masters, Oneness, Guides, Spiritual Support. I like this with goodwill, spiritual support, regardless of your situation or where you're at or who's who, what's what. This is a really lovely image here. Just like strength as well. You know, community, because this kind of reminds me of a lioness. You know, they work for the pride, right? To support each other, to support their the male that's looking after the tribe, right? Might think, oh, well, they do all the work, but really, if the male wasn't there, another male could come through. They don't look after other males' cubs. There could be a whole lot of turmoil, right? So it's some kind of structure that's worked, and I do like that kind of, like, we peel it all the way back. It's about support, right? It's supporting each other in whatever way, regardless of whatever one else is criticizing or judges it. This is about growth. Ascension is always about leveling up, growing, connecting to a higher force, higher being. I didn't really say this at the beginning of the reading, but when I was going to start, I called in Archangel Samuel, and Samuel kind of just feels like, you know, loving support, open-heartedness. So this kind of feels like that's what it's about. Oneness is all about, you know, doing things for the greatest good. Doing things for the greatest good. I like to manifest with the idea that whatever I'm manifesting, even if it's just personal for me, that it's for my highest good and the highest good of everyone around me, with that intention being placed out there very cleanly and clearly. So this is about support, and I like this. Your guides are guiding you towards a particular goal this coming month, whether that is just self-care for a month, or, you know, some part of the month is self-care, or whatever. This is about being guided, and it's for your own good, and it's for your highest good, I feel. You've got excellence, high standards. Okay. And you've got creation with all these little wacky and wild critters. I like this because the character here, he's just kind of like making whatever is popping up in his head. And sometimes those things can be kind of good because we just put them out there. We don't have to like dedicate years, months, whatever to it. It's just popping the idea out there, and then what does that represent? What does that mean? And then molding it. So it's a constant like shift and change rather than I have to get this all perfect. I have to get this all to a particular point. You don't have to. You can start doing little things or small things or just writing down your random thoughts or whatever, an ideas journal or something like that, right? However it works for you. You don't have to do these things that I'm saying. Gotta find the process that really works for you. But by trying different little things or different things, because you're like, oh, I know this is right for me. But by trying other things, you can integrate more into what you feel is correct, especially if what you feel is correct is kind of stumping you or putting you up against the wall. So good energy to get stuff done. I felt like at the start, just looking at the month ahead, especially May, because I'm in April now, it does look like it's a very practical month, a lot of like practicality. Emotions feel less, I guess, involved in this month, unless that's where you feel directed to. But the energy collectively does feel like it's going to be getting certain things done. So, however that looks, you'll see, we'll see, I'll see. Okay. You also have the Akaramalu, then the cuneiform. So Akaramalu, you could just see this as like a scorpion, the Scorpion King, very much a mythological creature, half human, half scorpion. And cuneiform is a type of writing, yes, into stone tablets. So this is talking about friction, communication, and also gossip. So words are going to be really powerful, I feel. What you say and what you do, I would say, be mindful that a child is listening, how you speak. Sometimes, I mean, I was just recently listened to an audiobook about certain things that have stuck with a person from 20 years ago because their father said, or a person at school said this, or someone that they really opened up to had kind of like shamed them for, right? So it's certain aspects like that just are like, oh no, I can't do this anymore, or do that anymore. This is kind of like breaking those old nets, I guess is the best way I can put it, and starting to like where there was like conflict or fear in the past, what does that look like now? Is that still true? Do I need to talk to this person, or do I need to just let it out, or do I need to somehow release and forgive and move on? So it's an interesting one, but again, it's right next to high standards. So it's about letting go and releasing some old stuff. An opportunity. This also looks like a portal right into the center of the earth. And what does the earth kind of, or Gaia kind of represent? She's like nourishing, healing, nurturing, material abundance, having everything you need to be able to create what you want, right? A common thing said with the planet is there's enough resources for everybody, right? But we're coming up to a point where we may have a trillionaire, and it's just kind of boggles the mind at what like how how can we even process in our heads $1 billion, and now we're thinking of introducing or allowing, I guess, as a collective consciousness, a trillionaire. It's just very mind-boggling, but that's the world we live in, right? Not to judge it, just to like state it as a fact. This is happening, but instead of worrying about all that, of course, what am I doing? What am I holding on to? How am I communicating? What do I say that impacts others? Am I being true to myself? Because really, this is all about being true to yourself. And if you have high standards, or you have like expectations of yourself, we can start to shift that to other people, especially if we feel like we're not meeting those for ourselves. So again, it's just about mindfulness. Ooh, okay. Oh, I do like this for you. You've got the Miracle Worker and the Grimoire. And you can see here she is almost like she's reading some kind of like deep knowledge, right? And it looks dark, so you could think, well, that means negative. Or it means she's diving deeper and just not surface leveling her spiritual development or her personal development or her what she can do. So you've got astral travel, cost, and secrets. So the cost is like the weighing up. Um, you know that Helen Reedy song, "I'm Woman." I'm Woman, Hear Me Roar, I think it's called. But anyway, there's like one part of it that is like, um, I can't remember the lyrics exactly, but it's like you know, it's taken a toll. I've lost, I've lost something, but look how much I've gained, right? So it's like it's almost like a sacrifice, but it's not a sacrifice. It's just knowing that this is the right path. It's kind of like, she decides to go against the grain of what is expected of her. So instead of having, I don't know, back in those days, like 9 children or something, right? She has like one. And so she's lost that kind of like massive family, but maybe that wasn't her path, right? So there's like a loss, but the gain is like she's gained her own kind of like career or freedom or whatever's important to this particular human that I'm picking up in my head. That's what it's all about. It's not about pleasing your family or this person or that person exactly by altering your life. You can please them by helping and supporting, but you don't change who you are to match anybody. That's really important here. So again, this is uncovering more about yourself. Feels like a very deep month, but considering I was talking about practicality, but this could all play into like work and expectations, right? It could play into home expectations. Whether you're male or female, there's always expectations that are still common in our human society of like, you do this if you're like this, you do that if you're like that, you know what I mean? And it's like, or you could just do what feels right to you, and as long as it doesn't impact other people's free will, that's true for their expectations shouldn't impact your free will as well. Okay, well, it's going to be an interesting month for you. Okay, so you've got the High Priestess again, touching in on intuition, touching in on secrets. This also does touch on astral travel. So you might want to start writing down your dreams, because we do kind of like, bob out and go around a bit in the astral. So maybe you want to look at that too. Okay, so you also have the Devil card. What is keeping you stuck? What is your desires that you want to express too? It's reminding me of the book that I read again with this one. It was a person who was kind of seen like externally as like a very like masculine man, right? And so, and in private wanted to have like other things, right? To kind of like play on different roles or different like expressions of self, right? But felt he couldn't because of the persona he kind of sat into or fitted into. And so there was like this self exploration, I guess, as well in that. So it didn't really keep him. Oh, no, it did keep him stuck, really. It did keep him stuck because he didn't feel confident or comfortable expressing himself. He also went through kind of situations where he was shamed for it and that kind of thing. So, right, it plays a toll. And that's why I feel like here with gossip and kind of like talking, don't be that for yourself, and also don't have to take on what other people have expected for you. It's a lot of expectations. Look, if that's not resonating, I have no idea, but it feels like very much about pressure or expectation. Also, just now I said pressure. When I was shuffling your cards, the 10 of wands flipped up, and the 10 of wands is about holding on to baggage, or holding on to like got too much going on. Sometimes like too much at work, right? A lot of stuff needing to be done. Sometimes it's heavy stuff that you've taken up from the past relationships or past feelings, and you're holding on to it because you're like, I can deal with this. I'll just keep carrying it. I'll just get really, really muscly by carrying all this baggage. But it doesn't necessarily work like that eventually. It's like, what is that saying? The straw that broke the camel's back. Like it's that one little thing that just starts to tumble that house of cards or whatever kind of persona you've tried to build up. If the persona is what you want to walk into, continue, but this doesn't feel like something that you want to continue with. You just need to be you. You just need to be you, I feel. Okay, I'll stop. I love this for you. You've got the Nine of Cups. The more you dig deep within yourself and start to process or even just consider, because this isn't really a huge energy of release, this is about creation. So it's like that idea of letting yourself be yourself is like the win-win-win. Because you can kind of see that with those you know, stereotypical characters in movies or books where it's just some woman or man who's like eccentric, right? You'll see as eccentric, but they're just living their life the way they're like, I've wasted too much time of my youth or like middle age or whatever doing what I should be doing, being who I thought I should be, doing things to please my parents or my partner or my family or what have you, friends. I'm just going to do myself. Like, I'm just going to be me. That's it. And so they'll dress kind of like wacky, or, you know, not wacky exactly, but just however they want to, whether that's plain clothes or like, you know, technicolored, whatever. It's up to them, right? It doesn't really impact anyone else what someone else is wearing, for example. So that's very much coming through. Right, and then you've got the Four of Swords. It's all about healing and recovery. This is also an interesting one. On my Instagram, I do a card of the week, and this one was it. So you're getting it right at the end. So next month is a huge opportunity to grow, to kind of like dig deep, uncover more secrets of yourself. The High Priestess here isn't really coming out saying she's holding on to the secrets you're not going to know. It's like you let go of the walls or the facade, and then this comes through. This knowledge of who you are comes through. And it doesn't mean it's like, okay, now you know who you are, everything's done. This is just a step towards whatever goal. This is all about walking up the steps towards, you know, the whatever goal you're looking for. I feel like the world, like Gaia, is on your side. I'm laughing because I'm like, it does feel like that. Like, it's a very strange thing to say, but like, this is very much supported. Your environment, you have what you need to start heading towards what you want, if that's what feels right to you. So this is why it's ascension, right? Uncovering more about ourselves is growth and ascension. Okay. Oh, okay. I'll grab this one since this one wants to pop out. Yep, thrive. Okay, so you've got, there's enough space for the moon and her stars not to tear each other down. Yeah, cut this kind of thing out because it's not supporting you. And I know if you come from an environment or a family where, you know, chatting about other people's lives and that kind of thing is like strongly there. Like, there's a lot of like, you know, that kind of stuff. You don't have to buy into that. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to dig into it. I mean, we're human, right? We do talk about other people and other things, but sometimes it's a nice way of like releasing, especially if we've taken on some of like toxic energy from them. It's not like we're gonna say they're bad people or whatever, but it's more like just need to let it out, and that's okay. I'm not saying you can't or you have to do this in your own way, but really, as long as you're not focusing on other things or other people's kind of like expectations or pressures, you're here to thrive. You're here to just live your life the way you live your life. You don't need to wait. I don't feel with this, the earth is like providing. It's time to get into like the lighter aspect, which is hugely, you know, creative and holds many opportunities. I feel with these cards, a chance to break out of norms or any kind of like social norm. You've got gifts and recovery and healing all up for grabs next month or the month ahead. So that's really, really, really nice for you, pile number one. Yeah, give yourself a break, I feel, as like the vibe here. Do not limit yourself and give yourself a break. That's it. That's my 2 cents for you, pile one. Well, I think that's all I really want to say. I know it's a very like open reading, but that's how collective picker piles are, right? They're open to interpretation. I feel like this is a great one though to steer your compass towards if you want to make headway. I don't feel like you'll be stuck in any necessary pattern if you open this door. It really actually shines light on you and the things that are holding you back. Um, that could be like past ideas. I don't like to say people are holding you back because if it is a person that's really, really like rigid, then why are they in your sphere of influence? Why are you allowing that energy in? Ask yourself that, and I'll leave that with you. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, pile number one. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Hello, hello. Welcome to your reading pile number two. So, you have chosen the Angel Isda and Carnelian with Nourishment. Angel number 444. It's an interesting one that's called like Nourishment. So this is a good season, I guess, to replenish. But also the Carnelian always makes me think of fire, right? Passion. What am I interested in? Bravery, strength. So if it is filling up your cups, it is for a purpose. You're not just sitting here twiddling your thumbs. There's like something to replenish for. There's a purpose for this recovery session. It's kind of like after a big long exercise, right? You don't just go, well, I should be exercising more. When your muscles are sore, you let them rest. You have to recover, right? You have to recover. I don't know. I don't really work out, but I'm sure you do. I should, though, as my guides constantly tell me. Anyway, this is the month ahead. So a month ahead, you can see this is next month. The current month you're in, if you've just started the month, whatever feels right to you, whatever your intuition tells you. This is about empowering you with your intuition, not about me just giving you what you should and shouldn't do. I feel like that's where readings are generally heading, and probably where they should have always been, not about telling someone what to do. Always about empowerment, and this is all about empowerment. Carnelian feels very empowered. Don't know too much about Angel Isda, but from what I feel from the energy, especially in this reading, whoa, that card definitely popped out. So with this reading, especially with the Carnelian Angel Isda kind of feels like following the beat of your drum or something like that. Do I know exactly? No. That's what I feel. It is also really red, right? A lot of these cards also have a lot of red in them. Even though this is pink, it's like that richness, that rich color. Okay, so let's take a look at your reading. So month ahead, you've also got Knowing. This is number 28. And this is Divination, Converse, Energy, and Free Will. Right. Yeah, following the beat of your own drum, following your heart, following your calling, your passion, your fire. This is really, really nice. I do feel like knowing is a good thing because you know when you should be healing, you should be resting, right? But I know a lot of people are like, oh, but I have to do this. This has to be done, that kind of thing. And the guide's like, oh, well, if you're not going to stop, you're going to get sick, right? Because that's the only way we can slow you down. And then you keep going. You take some, I don't know, Codral or something or whatever you have in your country. And you just keep chugging on. And then it's like, well, if you're not going to stop, we're going to have to do something else. So it's for your own good. It's for your own good to rest and recover a little bit. This isn't a huge message of rest and recover. It's interesting, this one kind of popped out. The Father and Soul Crystal, Dedication, Loss, and Heart Space. This is about kind of like healing that soul, that I don't know, refilling that heartfelt space, regardless of what it is. It really is about looking after yourself. You know, these guides in the background are kind of like watching because they're here to support you, and knowing that you need to let go or to start to move forward in some way. It's important because you've learnt many things in your time. So interesting one. I don't know how that plays exactly into next month. We'll get more cues. Like, what does that mean for next month? Are you going to start to shift some stuff? You're going to start looking after yourself a little bit better, right? Doing the things you need to. This could be as basic or as simple, I guess is probably a better word, as just being like, okay, I know I haven't gone to the gym for a while. I'm going to go, you know, that kind of thing. Or I know I need to go on this, like a walk, because it gives me time, mental time to connect with myself, which is like very spiritual, right? While also getting oxygen, feeling the sun, getting back in touch with like the earth, and also to exercise and build muscle, reduce fat, whatever you want to do as like a personal thing. Yeah, you've got go for it. Earnest enthusiasm, which I like because this is, I can't remember his name from Zach's game, but he is excited and he's just like go go go. So it's an interesting one. There is like a nice balance of doing and like patience, right? Patience in doing. And you also have compassion, open mind, kind heart. I do like this. This is a good hearted person, which is you, right? Good hearted person. And I feel like you just need some. You need like a break from the mundane, or a break from something, a break from fear or just worries or tragedies, anxiety, stress, that kind of stuff. Where's that come from? This is a good time to look after yourself, I would say. You also have Chimera and Alpha Omega. This is truth, cycles, and pathway. Yeah, pathways and cycles really come up here. This may be an opportunity to really clear something old. That's why it's like a cycle, right? This could be another end of a cycle. You could clear like 10% of it, and that's absolutely fine, right? 10% of $1 million is still 100,000. So it's still good, right? It's still good. But, you know, it's that just because it's like, it seems like you haven't finished or completed anything, you just have you've completed a chunk of a challenge, so it's still good. When you progress in a video game, right, you may not finish it in an hour, which is probably a good thing, but you've got to a particular point, as a particular milestone has been reached. You've finished a particular challenge or story or quest. Ace of Wands, again, that fire coming back in. This is so much more interesting. This is a really big opportunity, because pathways doesn't mean that you're going to pick the path that is going to have these. And if you don't want, you know, new opportunities, that kind of thing, because you're happy with what's going on, that's absolutely fine as well. There's no, you're not being told what to do. This is really just an opportunity next month to make some headway. Yeah, I felt like this was good at the start too. The Two of Pentacles, this is really about pleasure and play, balancing between worrying about, you know, the future and dealing and processing things now. You know, it's really a big, it's actually a nice Two of Pentacles, I feel, because it's like, all right, when is it time to go forward? When is it time to look after myself? When is it time to help people? When is it time to look after like my own needs, my self-care, that kind of thing? The things that I have held in my heart space that now may need to be shifted or cleansed or healed. Because really, your guides are just here to support you in this journey. They don't want you to go through and suffer or anything. They really want you to just enjoy. I like this. I was talking about the gym. I'm sorry if you've taken this and you were like, yeah, maybe it's the gym. This is the gym. This is like working out, you know, exercising, that type of thing. Reduce, you know, it could be also reducing the consumption of certain food that you've been kind of just like, it's fine. And, you know, have proper meals, have a sit down meal with your family or your friends, or go out, you know, and have a nice meal with a group of people that you care about, all that kind of stuff. But this is also, she has the energy of not caring what other people think, doing what she feels is right, and the shadow that can be, arrogance in a way as well, and just like kind of difficult energy, conflicting energy to be around. But in its light, it's self empowerment, and that is real nourishment. Like that's real growth, especially with the ace. This is an opportunity to step into this kind of energy where it's not about blaming other people or the past for how your life has turned out. This is about going, I'm sick of blaming things. I just want to step into my truth, my power. Truth is here too. Truth in this. She is true. Like, she's the real deal, I guess, is how it wants to come through. Right, and then we've got the 10 of Cups towards goals. This was all about fulfillment. This is pure like fulfillment, right? Getting to a point of where you have everything that you kind of want, I guess is the best way of putting it. I wouldn't say it's like everything, but it's reaching a milestone of like a fulfilling journey. And if you can enjoy the journey along the way, then you don't have to take those heavy things. Tap into your truth, the goodness of you. Who cares what other people think? This is, who cares what other people think with this queen? It's not about being perfect for anybody other than herself. She's looking for her own gratification. She's not here to gratify anyone else, which I like. Okay, let's get one more card from here. Then I will let you go. I know it's kind of a quick reading. I feel like today's readings have been quick, but sometimes why drag a reading out that doesn't need to be dragged out? It's pretty clear. Navigate. Beacons of light in the night sky are there to guide you. Yeah, I felt like your guides are really coming through here. You've got the looky-loos in the background. They're not interfering, right, with the grief and the challenge here of coming to terms with this situation. It looks like he's kind of been trapped in a crystal, right? Or he's been immortalized, whether he's passed or just in stasis. Who really knows? But whatever it is, the facts are that this is what's happened. So now it's the time to move beyond that truth, because it doesn't need to be in your reality forever. Doesn't mean you forget. There's no on and off, like 100%, 0%. It's not. That's not how life works. This is just about getting to a point where you can grow and achieve and feel love, support, and success that you have dwelling, I guess, or in the depths that want to come out and feel through you, through your actions, through your hobbies, through your zest for life. So if you have been working on a lot of this, well done, because this is a big kind of like energetical month. I don't know if this is like a prediction of anything coming up. I would say this is a huge opportunity to just create, instead of like something coming up, you creating that path towards those goals. So well done to you, pile number 2. I'm going to leave that there for you. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next reading. Hello, welcome to your reading, pile number 3. So you've picked the Archangel Metatron and the Clay Quartz with power. This one's really interesting. I don't know why I'm sounding so like peppy, but anyway, I mean, it's a good thing. But anywho, you can kind of see the Metatron's cube, I guess they call it, Metatron symbol in the background with this lovely mandala and clear quartz. Clear quartz always makes me think of balance and collaborating. Like when I say collaborating, like no, calibrating is what I mean, not collaborating. I mean, I said collaborating, so maybe that's going to pop up in your reading. But calibrating, fine tuning, getting things precise, and that's very Metatron's vibe, right? It's very like particular, very precise, very this should be like this should be like that. Very Virgo kind of energy. And as a Virgo sun, I can kind of appreciate it, but I know how it can be a little bit frustrating, especially if you're a big picture person and you're trying to explain things to a detailed person. But hey, we're all a little bit of everything. But we'll see what is coming up for your month here. This is also power, so we'll see how this plays out, because it's an interesting word to come through with Metatron's energy. You don't really feel that power, but sometimes power isn't about what physically things you can do. It's about, you know, knowledge is power type thing, and that feels very true to Metatron. Love the backs of these cards too. Really nice. If you're ever wondering about any of the cards that I use, I do put the details, or at least the name, and you just copy paste and put it into Google. I was going to find websites and stuff, but it took too long. You can just copy and paste it into Google, and you'll find it. You'll see the cards and go, oh yeah, that's that one. So that will be in the, it's going to say show notes, but that'll be in the description. Okay. I'm also using cards I've created, which are these ones, and another Twitch streamer from Japan, and he has, well, he's from America originally, but lives in Japan, and he created these cards, which is also based off a video game he's created. So feel free to check him out as well. I'll try to make sure the details are correct in the description, in the I'm gonna say show notes again, in the description itself. Okay, I'm gonna start reading the cards because I feel like the energy is wanting me to just do it now instead of shuffling these, but we'll get to the tarot as well. We'll start with the oracle cards. So you've got renewal, rhythm, healing, and rest. Nice. This isn't going to be a month so much about action, I would say. This is like action internally, action through resuscitation or through charging. You know, that's actually how power is. And it's not about how much you can kind of exhaust yourself. It's really about how much you can, you know, the understanding of when you need to do this, that, or the other, rest, recover, you know, take a sleep, but also to push forward and take charge of whatever situation's occurring. It's also masculine energy, so that's kind of coming through too. You've got all for one, revolution. That's interesting with the power card. This is very Aquarian, I guess, looking after or trying to get people on side so that we can all start to feel like we have power or some kind of say in how our lives or our work environment or how our country is run, right? That kind of thing. Again, this one's come out. This came out on pile 2, so it's come out for both the angels, angel cards that have come out. Compassion, open mind, kind heart. I do like this because we can make revolutions, right, based off the desire to take what others have taken from us, or that kind of thing, or that kind of feeling, right? But this is coming from like just creating a better world or creating a better environment. So the renewal is like compassion and heart. This is about refreshing ourselves and also refreshing or giving some kind of like energy towards a particular group or ideal, let's say. I would always say make sure you understand what it's all about, what it's truly about. You know, sometimes if you deal with a group and they're called love of life, right? But you look into the details and it's like they don't like these type of people. It's like a bigoted group or something like that. So it's like, make sure, like the love of life group might sound really amazing, but do your due diligence, I would say, with anything that you deal with. The people, the company, the environment, the, you know, social groups, all that kind of stuff, political group, whatever. This one also came out in pile 2, I think, or pile 1, I can't remember. But you've got the Miracle Worker and Grimoire, so you might want to check out pile 2. Astral Travel, Cost, and Secrets. Like I said with this revolution, make sure you know exactly what you're looking into. There's that on Netflix. There was this documentary that was just put out, or that I watched anyway in Australia. It just came out here, and it was touching on 4chan and 2chan and like social network groups and what they can kind of lead to, and misinformation, right? So make sure you're doing your due diligence and actually looking into what you're doing. It's kind of like, you know how countries go to war and they've been warring for like 200 years or something like that. The people that started it aren't even alive anymore. So what, you know, why do I not like these people? Is it because they've done something to me? Does that mean I should like blanket statement every single person in that group? Does that feel correct to you? Or like what am I doing? What is my country doing? What is this doing? What's happening? Why? This is really how this one's feeling, this cost. Where am I putting my energy into? Do I have everything I need to know to make the decisions that I've made? Or is this just some kind of inherited belief? So you also have the Buff Priest and the Honeypot. This is organizations, history, and weird, which is kind of funny because the story of this character when I created these cards was someone who wanted a change and a shift of lifestyle. And the shift was going from one organization to another. And it's very different, right? There's going to be differences, but he went from like challenges in battle and warcraft and into the priesthood, which you might think, well, that's completely different, but it's still very regimented and rigid, right? Army has to be rigid for there's purpose and reason for that, and you know, accountability, especially in priesthood, for what's happened in like over many years. There's been lots of things that have occurred where it hasn't been reported, right? Certain things. So there's like very strict structure of belief systems, and same with like outside of religion, very strict structure of belief systems in like army or war, whatever you want to call it. So he's going from one to another, and he still seems pretty unhappy, right? Because he's just replaced one kind of challenge with another challenge that may have differences in it, but it's like I still don't have free will, let's say, or I don't have I feel disenfranchised still, even though I feel like I'm voting for this side now, going to this side. But what's really changing and what's really happening? So it's diving deep into things. That's such an interesting reading because I feel like this is more of a collective reading, but I guess you could peel that back all the way to where am I putting energy into? Why do I do this? Why do I not invite this kind of energy on all these kind of people, or feel this way towards this kind of group of people, or whatever? This is really about fleshing out understanding and just being open-minded about it, being helpful and heartfelt, I want to say, because this character is Fufta and he's supportive, loving, and caring, and sometimes he deals with people who are not very nice, right? And which is unfortunate because he's such a lovely character. But why should he change just because of how he's treated by some? He should just, you know, not take on board whatever their energy they're giving to him, and avoid, and you know, as much as possible interactions with those kind of people. So you don't want to fall into this energy. Good intentions, but another kind of like honeypot or another trap. Honeypot is like a term used to, I guess it's kind of reminded me of Archer, where he does a honeypot and tries to attract this guy, and so he's, you know, whatever, he's dressed up kind of crazy looking, or like over exaggerated stereotype, and so yeah, it's like trying to flirt, I guess, or be seductive to get like information or whatever. Okay, so what else does Pile 3 need to hear in this regard? So, interesting month ahead reading for you, Pile 3. Take, of course, what resonates. I'm just telling the story that the cards are telling me. Right, so this is a really good card to come out for this reading to help with this message. You got the Four of Cups, which I like this imagery because, you know, these people are celebrating. These two look like they're having fun. You know, he's having a drink. This guy in the background's drinking. She's being offered a drink from, or whoever this is, the hand person. You know, but she's still feeling like she's just not enjoying it. And you don't want to be the person who's kind of downing the party, right? So you remove yourself from the situation. If you're not enjoying something, why are you there? What is this about? Ask yourself these questions. This is all about internal understanding, comprehension. I feel this month coming up, it's like an opportunity to really start making shifts towards old belief systems for sure, or inherited belief systems. Yeah, that's where justice comes in. It's like, right, balancing. This is now the clear quartz. Finding balance or starting to recalibrate our minds and our bodies and our soul and our heart to truth and doing what's right. All for One, Revolution, and the Justice card, doing what is right. Especially if you have any legal kind of things popping up, you'll get the results that are for your highest good based off your integrity. If you're being, if you're doing what's right and saying what's true, then you'll always be the winner, regardless of what happens in the end. I would rather get something through integrity rather than just getting something right. That's how it's kind of feeling. Do I always do that? No, I'm not perfect, but that's kind of like how the card's coming through. So you've got the Hanged Man. This is giving you ample time to contemplate and sit with this energy of this reading. I do kind of, it's interesting with these two kind of here because they're just very much like what's happening and where am I and what's going on. You know, this is contemplative, but the Hanged Man also lets go. He's put upside down to unload his baggage or unload the stuff that he's carrying around. And you might pick up the stuff that you want, but it puts it all out. It's kind of like when you clean out your handbag or your purse or whatever you have, satchel or whatever, I don't know, whatever you carry your life around with. You know, you clear it out and it's like, why do I have this rubbish here, these wrappers here, this lipstick went off like I don't know, 10 years ago or something like that, right? And it's like, or it's empty, and why am I carrying around this stuff? So you start to clean stuff out. This is kind of like a soul cleanse a little bit, or a soul calibration. Okay, I like this for you, the Emperor coming through. This is like, okay, time to make the next step, the next move, right? What's the next move? Emperor can be kind of stubborn and hot-headed in its shadow, in his shadow, I guess. However, in the light, it's about security, stability, having firm feet on the ground and knowing like, okay, now this is sorted, now I can make a decision based off a level head rather than basing it off what I'm like quickly told, right? Like, you know, you watch a TikTok or a short or something and it kind of upsets you or pisses you off. This is like, why is that triggering me? Do I go, okay, whoever said that, I hate all the group of them, whatever they are, their gender, their race, their sexuality, whatever, you know, that kind of thing. Is that the best way? This is like, that's the Shadow Emperor. Upright is like, hang on, just because this person's saying something doesn't mean I have to buy into it or believe it or even engage with it. You can always just block that person who posts, even if they're nice people, right? But if they keep posting controversial things or things that keep triggering you, you don't have to participate in it, because otherwise you'll start to spiral and not actually get what you want done. So that is that. Whatever you're feeling or going through or like not experiencing, feel free to shift it and move away from it, or limit your access or your energy towards that type of person. If they cross boundaries, just call them out or walk away. Honestly, sometimes I just walk away because I'm like, I don't need to be here for this. Okay, so your last message is manifest. It says dream deep and ask for what you want. Right, what do you want? If you're not experiencing what you want to experience, what do you want to experience? If you're not feeling balanced or have to interact with a lot of toxic energies, why? Why are you like? Why are you there? But then also, why? What do you want? What kind of people do you want to attract or what to bring into your life? Turning it into the positive helps find a pathway. Keeping into like the pessimist, right? Oh, this is going to happen, or this is the I'm going to have to deal with this person. You're already putting yourself in a low vibration. It's like, oh, I don't want to go to work because I have to deal with this colleague or whatever. Then you turn up to work and they're not there, and it's like, oh, thank God. But you've already just like lowered yourself. Now you have to drag yourself back up into the light for the rest of the day. So it's like, whatever this person's going to do or say, that's their issue or their energy, not mine. I don't have to participate in it. And if they talk to me about it, then I can be cordial, or I can take my leave, or just call them out for whatever they say that doesn't resonate with me. I don't need to hang around that energy or participate in any toxic behavior, right? So, interesting one. Get back into who you really are, this loving, caring, compassionate, heart-space person. Look after yourself during here. You've got these two kind of like healing, restful energies, especially since he's in bed. But he also feels like he's going through his head, which I think is okay in this particular reading. Sometimes being too much in your head can be a challenge, but this is mindful head work. That doesn't sound good, but you know what I mean. Mindful, thoughtfulness. I don't know what to say. I'm going to leave that there before I start talking rubbish. Anyway, thank you so much for letting me read for you, pile number 3. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next reading.